Tonight's broadcast is made possible by Strack & Van Til, your favorite Indiana-made grocery store. Ironworkers Local 395, proud to be union. Four Seasons Mechanical, quality and comfort is our guarantee. Boilermakers Local 374, earn while you learn. Pulse Technology, leading the way in technological innovation for over 70 years. Visit Michigan City LaPorte, closer than you think, better than you imagine. IBEW Local 697, proud to support high school sports. Bricklayers Local 4, the best hands in the business. Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, keeping you cool in the summer and cozy in the winter. Blythe's Team Sports, where the athlete shops. And Hampton Inn, downtown Indianapolis. This is the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us, and welcome to Game Day in the Region on the Region Sports Network as Enigenberg Exteriors presents the 2026 Class 3A Softball State Championship. Streaming live on Facebook/Region Sports Nation, regionsports.com, and the RSN YouTube channel. We come to you today from Bittinger Stadium in West Lafayette, Indiana, home of the Purdue Boilermakers, as the Hanover Central Wildcats take on the New Palestine Dragons for the Class 3A Softball State Championship. I'm Leo Staudaher, and I'll be handling all of the action for today's game, and it is the venue, it is the weekend that every team in the state wants to end their season at, and we are here with Hanover losing a heartbreaker last year, looking for redemption, while New Pal, they are looking to tie a state record for most state championships. Plenty on the line this evening, so let's get right into it in the 3A state title game starting the weekend between Dragons and Wildcats. New Palestine will be the visitors taking first at bats in this game. They enter with a record of 24-7 on the year. Their home fans making some noise now as they wrap up their pregame warm-ups on the infield. They are 5-2 in conference play, representing the Hoosier Heritage Conference. They have won their last 8 games. They have scored 230 runs while allowing just 96. This for them coming off a semi-state round where they were dominant in the semis, a 14-4 win in which they said Peyton Dye as well as Claire Fitzgerald both crushed 2 home runs in that game apiece, with their starting pitcher Sadie Hubanks throwing a complete game in that one, and then they would roll 4-1 in the semi-state final to punch their ticket to this evening's title game. And for Hanover, we saw them 25-6 total record as they were 10-2 in the Northwest Crossroads Conference, capturing their first conference title in that group. They have scored 240 runs this season while allowing 88. They are winners of their last 8. In the semi-state semifinal, they won 2-0 against Logansport, in which their starting pitcher, Jillian DeYoung, was sharp with her command, needing just 83 pitches to go to distance. 59 of those pitches were for strikes. And in the semi-state final against East Noble, they would win 7-1. Dallas Bowen would contribute 3 total runs as well as a home run in that game for the Wildcats. So there's a bit of the records on how they got there. Let's get ready to meet the lineups for both squads. Tonight's batting orders are powered by Great Lakes Sports Hub, where athletes train harder, recover smarter, and compete at their best. Elevate your game at the Hub. For the New Palestine Dragons, their lineup will be as follows, as they will be occupying the first base dugout wearing red jerseys with white numbers, black pants to complete their outfits. Their head coach, Ed Markham, in his 23rd year with the program, is 563, 89, and 1 with the Dragons. His lineup card will read as follows. Callie Cromwell leads off and patrols center field. Peyton Dye bats second, plays third. Sadie Miller plays short, bats third. Claire Fitzgerald will be playing second base and batting out of the cleanup spot. Kara Steele plays first, bats fifth. Amber Hurt is the DP. She bats 6th, while Tessa Moore plays left field, bats 7th. Lindsey Gooden will be behind the plate defensively. In the lineup, she will be batting 8th, and then Kenna Tweedy rounds out the 1 through 9, playing right field. And for the Hanover Central Wildcats, they will be wearing their Columbia blue and Cardinal uniforms, blue jerseys, blue pants, white text in a Cardinal rectangle on the front, and then Cardinal numbers outlined in white on the back. Their lineup from head coach Sam Ankowitz in his 7th year with the program. He's 112-50 with Hanover. His lineup card will sound like this. Sienna Stilley is behind the plate. She leads off. Dallas Bowen bats 2nd, plays short. Brooklyn Ostman plays 1st, bats 3rd. Jillian DeYoung will be the starting pitcher. She bats cleanup. Nora Edgerton will be playing left field, batting 5th. Katie Pope will be playing 3rd base, batting 6th. Kaylee Blocker is the DP. She bats 7th. Addie McMahon will be in center field and batting 8th. And Marissa Millisap rounds out the 1 through 9 while playing 2nd base. Those are the starting lineups. Let's meet the starting pitchers as we will take a look at the Enigenberg Exteriors Home Improvement Hurlers presented by Enigenberg Exteriors. For the home team, the Hanover Central Wildcats, they will send Jillian DeYoung to the circle. She's 20-4 on the season, a 1.22 ERA in 25 appearances. She's logged 144 innings pitched in the circle with 71 hits scattered throughout those. She has allowed just 40 runs, 25 of which were earned, walking 43 batters while striking out 253. She has been excellent throughout the state tournament so far. She gets the nod to set the tone in the state title game. The New Palestine Dragons will counter with their starting pitcher, Sadie Hughbanks. She's 20-5 on the year, 243 earned run average over 29 appearances. She's thrown 164 innings pitched with 142 hits allowed. She has surrendered 70 runs with 57 of those earned. She has walked 43 batters while striking out 158. Those are your Enigenberg Exteriors Home Improvement Hurlers for today's game. Enigenberg Exteriors, a premier provider of roofing and siding services with over 40 years of experience. Check them out on the web at ebergexteriors.com. So the ground rules were just discussed at home plate as the captains make their way back to their pregame huddles with their coaches. It's a rowdy atmosphere here at Bittinger Stadium. And we will take a look at the weather conditions next, as that means we will turn to the Friday night forecast, which is brought to you by our friends at Economy Electric Heating and Cooling. Tonight's forecast, it is 79 degrees and sunny here in West Lafayette. There are a couple clouds dotting the light blue canvas out on the horizon, but other than that, it is a almost picture-perfect day here in Lafayette. There's a light wind blowing out to center field. Sunset is not expected until the 9 o'clock hour, but the lights will be taking effect as this game progresses, so there will be limited shadows and other obstructions on the field. A really good night for the state championship. You never want weather to be a factor or impact the championship game, and for these two squads, it's about as great of a night as you could ask for, and this is the type of night you really picture when you dream of those state championship moments, so it should be a fun one here. That's the Friday night forecast, brought to you by Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, keeping you cool in the summer and cozy in the winter. We will continue to get you ready for first pitch between the Wildcats and the Dragons. We will have plenty more coverage coming up in just a little bit, so stick around. You are listening to coverage of the 2026 Class 3A Softball State Championship presented by Enigenberg Exteriors on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
With 40 years of experience serving Indiana, Illinois, and Tennessee, Enigenberg Exteriors has only had one goal in mind: to achieve excellent customer service. From commercial and residential roofing to siding, window, and door replacement, Enigenberg Exteriors delivers 110% customer satisfaction from the first hello to the final walkthrough. Visit enigenberg.com for more information, or give them a call at 219-365-2837. Enigenberg Exteriors, restoring hope one project at a time.
Get Pulse technology on your team. Hit a home run with our managed print and copier services, IT and technology solutions, office furniture and design services, office supplies, scoreboards, and AV solutions.
Strack & Van Til for the win with 4 ways to save. Catch price drops on over 15,000 items and check the weekly ad for can't miss deals. Stack on the rewards program for digital coupons, points toward discounts and free products, and power up with our own brands. Keep your budget in the safety zone. Get the same great taste as national labels at lower prices. If you can't taste the difference, why pay the difference? Score big value with 4 ways to save at Strack & Van Til.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
Welcome back as Enigenberg Exteriors presents coverage of the 2026 Class 3A Softball State Championship right here on the Region Sports Network. Enigenberg Exteriors, your all-in-one roofing specialist. Visit ebergexteriors.com for a quote as the fans getting ready for the state title game between Hanover and New Palestine. They're giving an ovation for some teachers from each school who were recognized pre-game. A very nice tribute to those educators. Cool to see, certainly, as we get ready for the final touches. It's been fun reading up on and seeing some of the quotes, maybe not fun, but from Hanover, this group that fell so close last year, falling in the 3A state championship game, looking to make their way back for redemption, falling 5-4 to Cathedral, a team they would fall to in that game. They rallied, scoring 3 runs in the 7th inning, but fell just short. And this team now looking to get some redemption here. And what a bounce-back year that has been, being led by some upperclassmen in Sienna Stilley, as well as some underclassmen that have been injected into the lineup, whether that be Dallas Bowen or Jillian DeYoung. These are the right formula has been working for Hanover to propel them to the state championship game for a second season. They'll be looking to add to their trophy case, as we will turn things over to the PA announcer for the introduction of the starting lineups. First, from the New Palestine Dragons.
Zero, Addison Ewell. Number 3, Morgan Hutchinson. Number 8, Abby Maddox. Number 22, Kaylin Hurst. Number 25, Ella Archer. Number 26, Eva LaPinta. Number 28, Grace Mulligan. Number 31, Abby Thomas. And number 34, Sydney Frey. Here's the starting lineup for the Dragons. Leading off in center field, number 10, Kelly Cromwell. Batting second at third base, number 12, Peyton Dye. Batting third at shortstop, number 27, Sadie Miller. Batting fourth at second base, number 30, Claire Fitzgerald. Batting fifth at first base, number 16, Kara Steele. Batting sixth, the designated player, number 38, Amber Hurd. Batting seventh in left field, number 4, Tessa Moore. Batting eighth, the starting catcher, number 5, Lindsay Goodell. Batting ninth in right field, number 37, Kara Tweedy. Starting pitcher for the Dragons, number 17, Sadie Huber. The Dragons are coached by Ed Markham in his 23rd season. He's assisted by Matt Hayden, Kendall King, Tatum Biddle, Michelle Huckle, and Alyssa Dillard.
There were the starters for New Palestine. Now we will hear the starting group from Hanover.
First reserves, number 3, Jessica Ferguson. Number 4, Madison Salisbury. Number 8, Brooke Millsap. Number 11, Claire Edgerton. Number 12, Brooklyn Goldwoods. Number 13, Jordan Barble. Number 15, Corinne Schultz. And number 20, Olivia Carrillo. Here's the starting lineup for the Wildcats. Leading off, the catcher number 21, Sienna Strulli. Batting second, the shortstop number 10, Dallas Bowen. Batting third and first base, number 17, Brooklyn Ostman. Batting fourth, the starting pitcher number 14, Julian DeYoung. Batting fifth in left field, number 9, Nora Edgerton. Batting sixth at third base, number 16, Caden Poppy. And seventh, the designated player, number 7, Kaylee Blocker. Batting eighth in center field, number 6, Adeline McMahon. Batting ninth at second base, number 5, Marissa Millsap. The flex player in right field, number 2, Alyssa Bauman. And over central scope by Sam Ankowitz in his 7th season. He's assisted by Alyssa Albrecht, Kevin Duffy, Megan Myers, Brian Miller, and Mike Maltra. And now, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please stand and remove your caps as we honor America and the freedom she stands for and protects with the singing of our national anthem. Offering tonight's Star-Spangled Banner from Logansport High School, please welcome Gwendolyn Kitchell.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watch were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
There were the starting lineups and the national anthem, which means it is time to play ball here in the state championship game. Jillian DeYoung begins her final warm-up tosses. The sophomore right-hander will look to work quickly and get her team's bats back up. It is just the exact day you hope for to play a state title game. This Hanover team back for the second year in a row. New Palestine, their second appearance in the state title game, second appearance in 3 years. They could make some history today. with 6 state championships. If they were to make it 7, they would tie the state record. And, well, Hanover looking to prevent that from occurring this evening. Certainly for the Wildcats, they were state champs in 2004, runners-up in 2005. Or 2025, pardon me. They have made appearances in 03, 04, 25, and 26. New Palestine, they have appearances in the state championship game in 2003, 2004, 2006, 2008, 2009, 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, 24, and now 2026. They were champions in 04, 08, 09, 17, 18, and 19. They were runners-up at the 4A level 2 years ago in 2024, so they are looking to add another championship to their program as their leadoff batter, Callie Cromwell, steps into the right-handed batter's box. She will get ready to battle with DeYoung here. Cromwell bats .356 on the season, .434 on base percentage, slugging .554. She has 27 hits, 5 doubles, 3 triples, 1 long ball, 12 RBIs, and 19 runs scored. Cromwell, the junior outfielder, while DeYoung, the sophomore pitcher, looking to fire things to her senior catcher in Stilley. The first pitch speeds in for a strike at 5:36, and we are underway. DeYoung sends a fastball to the inner third of the zone, opens the count 0-1. The 0-1 pitch lofted towards left field, angling backwards is Edgerton. It hooks foul, just lands at the base of the wall, stays in the yard, but at the warning track. That was sent a long distance, but fortunately for the Wildcats, it sliced foul. 210 feet to the corners at the foul poles here at Bittinger Stadium. 220 to dead center. That one went about 209.5. Just staying inside the park. The count, though, 0-2 to Cromwell, so she'll look to get defensive here. DeYoung looking to continue to power in strikes. The 0-2 pitch skips its way into the dirt. Stilley keeps it in front of her and will throw it back to her pitcher, so that keeps the count going. A ball and 2 strikes. I mentioned just how efficient DeYoung was in semi-state with her command. Over half of her pitches for strikes. The sophomore stands tall at the circle, kicks and goes to the plate, speeds one just high for a ball. The appeal to first base on the check swing will determine she did not go far enough. DeYoung in the semi-state semifinal, a no-hitter against Logansport. 15 strikeouts in that contest. Her 2-2 delivery. Crack towards shortstop. Bowen flashes the leather. Plants her foot, throws one over the diamond, but beating it down the line is Cromwell, safe at first base. It's an infield single, so the leadoff batter is on base. Dallas Bowen had to shuffle to her right, reaching her glove across her body to backhand it. Made a nice play to handle that and throwing, not rushing the throw, but it just carried a little high and giving that extra time for Cromwell to motor down the first base line. She's aboard, and the first pitch to Peyton Dye is high for a ball. Opens the count 1-0. With the leadoff batter on, we'll see what Dye could do here. She bats .396 this season. She's driven in 20 runs, 7 home runs. She cracks one towards the Hanover Central dugout, hitting the fence as many of the players in the dugout started to get out of the way of that one, evening the count at 1-1. Dye is a North Carolina State recruit. She bats right-handed against DeYoung. The 1-1 pitch. She waves over the off-speed delivery for strike 2. Nice movement on the pitch from DeYoung. She took a little something off that one, and then it corkscrewed low and away from the right-handed batter. 1-2 the count now. Cromwell, the batter at first base. This one's cued towards short. Bowen fields it, throws to second, but it squeaks away from Millisap. Everybody's safe on the play. The Wildcats were looking at turn 2, going for the lead runner at second, but then a little bit of a defensive mishap as The throw to Bowen, from Bowen to Millsap, was on time, but then not quite able to field it cleanly, allowing Cromwell to be safe. Dye reaches, and so that makes things a little bit bumpier for the Wildcats as they're looking to now walk the tightrope here with runners at first and second and nobody out. It was good. The heads-up play by Bowen to go for the lead runner at second base. It just didn't quite go the Wildcats' way. So everybody, after a brief meeting at the circle, everybody goes back to their stations. Sadie Miller bats for the Dragons here with two friends on base and nobody out. What a spot here in the top of the first inning for Miller. The first pitch from DeYoung finds the corner for a strike. Miller, you have to be careful against her. She has 11 doubles, 1 triple, 6 home runs, and 27 RBIs. The 0-1 pitch from DeYoung. High for a ball. This is certainly a New Palestine team that can drive the softball, so avoiding leaving something hanging here and trying to get them swinging. With the 1-1 count, DeYoung goes to the plate. Elevated by Miller. This one's drifting toward shallow center field. Bowen races over from shortstop to camp out under it and make the catch just at the base of the outfield grass. That's a big first out to get on a fly ball that didn't leave the infield. And now Claire Fitzgerald, the Dragons' second baseman, will bat here with runners at first and second and one away. DeYoung looks towards her catcher, Stilley, goes to the plate, and this one is fouled back to the screen to start the count 0-1. Not many empty seats in the stadium here with the bleachers along the baselines and the seats behind the plate. The 0-1 pitch from DeYoung finds the zone for a strike. No swing from Fitzgerald, makes it an 0-2 count. There's a grassy hill beyond the right center field area with plenty of fans bringing seats from home sitting out there. The 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. DeYoung with the off-speed breaking ball gets Fitzgerald swinging over it and ahead for a big strikeout. And that is the second out of the inning. 2 away, 2 on. Last hope for the Dragons is Kara Steele playing first base today. Steele launched a 3-run home run in the semi-state final for New Palestine. The first pitch from DeYoung speeds high for a ball. She had 2 home runs in the sectional championship, so she's a player you have to watch for. 8 home runs on the season, but 3 of those in the state tournament. Talk about swinging the bat well at the right time. The 1-0 pitch is high for a ball. Steele doesn't go for it. 36 RBIs on the season for Steele. She has a chance to add 2 more to that total. It's a hitter's count, 2 balls, no strikes. The windup from DeYoung towards the plate. Steele sends it towards center field. Going back is McMahon. At the track, it lands just past her. In to score is Cromwell. Dye will cross as well. It's a 2 RBI double for Steele, and the Dragons strike first. Steele sends a long fly ball that just stays in the park to dead center field. It was about 218 feet, landing right on the track and one-hopping its way to the wall just out of reach of McMahon. Steele sends both runners in to score. She's aboard at second base with RBIs number 37 and 38, her 8th double of the season. DeYoung speeds in a strike to the next batter, Amber Hurt. And it's New Palestine leading 2-0 in the top of the first. But with 2 away for DeYoung and company, they'll look to just get the next out and get their bats up with some work to do here. Cromwell reached on a single, and then Dye would reach on a fielder's choice in which both runners were safe on the play. Then there were back-to-back outs. Steele, though, was able to crank a 2 RBI double to put a crooked number on the board. As a quick fastball from DeYoung makes it a 1-2 count. She's a strike away from getting out of this jam, but with damage having been done. The windup for the 1-2 pitch. Just upstairs for a ball. So twos are across the board here. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 2 runs in to score and a runner at second. DeYoung stares down to Stilley for the 2-2 pitch. Here we go. She swings over, but it's in the dirt. Stilley recovers and throws to first to retire hurt. So it's a strikeout to end the inning. New Palestine does some damage, scoring twice on a double. We will head to the bottom of the first as you're listening to coverage of the 2026 Class 3A Softball State Championship presented by Enigenberg Exteriors on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Four Seasons Mechanical proudly serves Northwest Indiana, providing quality, reasonably priced, reliable service. With a quality and comfort guarantee, the professionals at Four Seasons Mechanical offer a wide range of services in heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. Whether it's residential or commercial, Four Seasons Mechanical is there 24/7. To find out more, the website is fourseasonsmechanical.com or give them a call at 219-756-7020. Four Seasons Mechanical, your indoor air quality specialist.
Welcome back as Enigenberg Exteriors presents coverage of the 2026 Class 3A Softball State Championship right here on the Region Sports Network. Bottom of the first inning, from the printer tray to the field, Pulse Technology keeps us moving. For more information about the heartbeat of the Region Sports Network, visit Pulse Technology on the web at pulsetechnology.com. Bottom of the first inning, and Hanover has some work to do after surrendering 2 runs in the top of the first inning. They'll look to get their bats active here in the bottom half, and this is certainly a capable group from the Wildcats, scoring 240 runs on the season. Whether that was nerves or whatever you want to make of it in the top of the first inning, you can't let that weigh on your minds too much. You just have to focus on the next pitch. And that's what we'll look to see here from Sienna Stilley, the Jacksonville State recruit. Leading off for the Wildcats, takes a first pitch strike from Sadie Hughbanks. Hughbanks was a second-team All-State selection, has been pitching very well for the Dragons. She winds up and will fire her 0-1 pitch towards the plate. Check swing from Stilley, jabs it towards the circle. Hughbanks collects and throws over to first for out number 1. An excuse me swing from Stilley finds the ball right on the barrel and just goes right back to the circle where Hughbanks was waiting for it, threw over to first for 1 out. Here's Dallas Bowen, the freshman shortstop from Hanover Central. She bats left-handed against the right-hander Hughbanks. Bowen cracks one that spins foul down the first base line, starts the count 0-1. So Bowen, one of those players that was not part of last year's state runner-up squad, but has certainly boosted this lineup, batting .371 with 36 hits, 6 home runs, and 28 RBIs. The 0-1 pitch, she pokes it foul to the Wildcat dugout, so she's behind 0-2. But now down to her last strike, Bowen will look to try to lock in here and reach base. This was a Hanover team that has allowed just 3 runs in the state tournament going into this game, but they trail by 2 here. The 0-2 pitch is a rise ball that carries a little too high, just away from the upper corner to make it a 1-2 count. Good take from Bowen to keep the count going. On the 1-2, Hughbanks goes to the plate with the breaking ball, and Bowen swings above it for strike 3. Now there are 2 away in the last of the first inning. It's up to Brooklyn Ostman to keep things going for the Wildcats After going upstairs on the last pitch, Eubanks then changes directions and changes speed, going with the off-speed pitch that broke low, getting the left-handed batter to miss on that one. Now the right-handed batter, Ostman, stays away from a pitch that was outside the fastball. So she's ahead 1-0. Ostman bats .306 on the season. 33 hits. Could use another one here. The 1-0 pitch. Ostman drives it towards left field. This one's carrying to the wall, bounces off the wall and caroms back to the grass. Ostman is into second base, standing up for a 2-out double. Ostman nearly clobbered one out of the park, but it lands in the middle of the wall and then ricochets past the left fielder Moore. A friendly roll for the Wildcats, allowing Ostman to cruise into second base. And now Jillian DeYoung could help her cause. The Wildcat pitcher bats with 2 outs and a runner on second as the first pitch from her counterpart, Eubanks, skips in at the left-handed batter's box. Nice defensive play by the catcher, Gooden, to prevent that one from passing her, especially with a runner in scoring position. The 1-0 delivery. DeYoung sends it through the gap between third and short. Rounding the corner, going to the plate is Ostman. She will score, and the Wildcats are on the board. An RBI single from DeYoung makes it a 2-1 ball game, allowing Ostman to score from second. For DeYoung, that's her 32nd RBI of the season. And just talk about the bounce-back efforts from the Wildcats after allowing a 2-spot in the top of the inning. They waste no time with some 2-out production, getting a double from Ostman and a single from DeYoung. As Nora Edgerton bats with a runner at first base, there's a courtesy runner in place of DeYoung as she is the pitcher. So that will be Jordan Varble at first base. Varble runs in place of DeYoung. Here's Edgerton. The pitch from Eubanks. Finds the corner, or just misses the corner for a ball. Eubanks looks for the 1-0 delivery. Edgerton gets it off the end of the bat, skips it to the pitcher on 2 hops, and she will throw the first base to end the rally, but Hanover generates 1 run. We're through an inning. It's been an eventful inning so far, with New Palestine leading 2-1. You're listening to coverage of the 2026 Class 3A Softball State Championship, presented by Enigenberg Exteriors on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Earn while you learn from the best hands in the business. The Bricklayers Allied Craftworkers for Indiana, Kentucky Apprenticeship. That's right, this is a paid apprenticeship.
I'm getting an education while learning a trade and getting paid for it.
The thing that surprised me the most about this apprenticeship program is the respect I have received after the proper time and training.
Classes start soon, so apply now. There are training centers throughout Indiana and Kentucky. We are the Bricklayers and Allied Craftworkers for Indiana, Kentucky Apprenticeship. The best hands in the business.
At American Testing Services, based in Hobart, Indiana, we specialize in NDT drone inspections and heat treatment services for local mills, fab shops, and facilities across the country. From Northwest Indiana to nationwide, we deliver precision, safety, and reliability. American Testing Services, America's trusted name in NDT.
Welcome back as Enigenberg Exteriors presents coverage of the 2026 Class 3A Softball State Championship right here on the Region Sports Network. Ordering groceries has never been easier with online shopping at Strachan Van Til. Save time and money. In-store sale prices, pickup or delivery, online coupons, rewards, points, and more. Shop StrachanVanTil.com today. Tessa Moore leads off the second inning for New Palestine as they lead 2-1, but Hanover Central wasted no time in the bottom of the first inning with some 2-out production. They will bring the corner infielders in, anticipating a bunt as DeYoung feeds in a strike in the upper portion of the zone to Moore. She bats .242 on the season. So maybe thinking she would try to lay down a bunt to try to reach base here. The 0-1 is high for a ball. Moore doesn't bring the bat forward. And the count is even at 1-1. DeYoung looks to Stilley, winds, brings it to the plate, brings the heat. Swinging for strike 2 is Moore. She couldn't catch up to that one. She's behind in the count. A ball and 2 strikes. The windup from DeYoung, the pitch, it's a swing and a miss, strike 3. Moore starts the second inning with a punch-out. That had some good rise from the right-hander DeYoung, and Moore tried to climb the ladder with it, couldn't get there for the strikeout. Here's Lindsey Gooden, the Dragons catcher. She swings and fouls one to the screen on the first base side, just above her team's dugout. So that will open the count 0-1. Gooden bats .318 on the season. She has 27 hits with 19 RBIs, 5 doubles, 2 triples, and 3 home runs. The 0-1 skied towards left field. Bowen, the shortstop, tracks it down and will make the catch near the foul line. Bowen and Edgerton had to communicate there. It was the shortstop calling for it, avoiding any defensive miscues there to make the catch, and there are quickly 2 away after a strikeout and a flyout. Here's Kenna Tweedy, the 9th batter in the New Pal lineup. She goes after the fastball from DeYoung, but can't get to it for strike 1. We've seen the velocity and the command has certainly been there for DeYoung, being able to locate her spots, and they've been tough to catch up to. The 0-1 pitch is fouled off the screen, and now it is quickly an 0-2 count. And after allowing a crooked number in the first inning, she's just been going right at these batters. Sometimes you see with pitchers, the confidence could be rattled as knocking it foul on the first base side is Tweedy, but DeYoung has seemed to just settle in after allowing those 2 runs, not being fazed by it, not letting it unravel her start. She has stuck to her approach, and that consists of throwing strikes. With the velocity she's throwing, she really doesn't seem afraid of contact because, well, to put it simple, the New Pal batters are struggling to catch up to it. Another fastball is fouled backwards, and the count remains 0-2. So when you throw the high heat, it's tough to get to. And we've seen here with Tweedy just a little bit behind all of these pitches. The 0-2 misses the upper corner for ball 1. Tweedy didn't offer for it. A good take, especially with 2 strikes in the count. So she'll keep the top half of this second inning rolling. And DeYoung pulls the string on the 1-2 pitch to get Tweedy swinging over it for the second strikeout of the inning, the 4th of the game for DeYoung. That will end the top half of the second inning. No runners on base, no runs across the plate. We are through an inning and a half. It is a 2-1 game with New Palestine in the lead. You're listening to coverage of the 2026 Class 3A Softball State Championship presented by Enigenberg Exteriors on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
IBEW Local 697 isn't just wiring buildings. We're woven into the very fabric of Northwest Indiana. We're your neighbors. Our kids go to school with yours. We stand in the same bleachers cheering for the same high school teams. When you hire a union electrician, you're not just getting the highest quality work. You're supporting our community. IBEW Local 697, proudly powering our own.
Sometimes the hardest part of improving your business isn't coming up with a great idea. It's knowing what to do with it. Chester Inc. Architectural and Construction Services is ready to meet all your industrial and commercial construction needs. Whether it's a small build-out or a complete construction project, Chester will design, build, and finance. Our team eliminates multiple contractors, providing you a single point of contact while staying within your budget. Chester Inc. Architectural and Construction Services, turning your ideas into realities.
Welcome back as Enigenberg Exteriors presents coverage of 2026 Class 3A Softball State Championship right here on the Region Sports Network. To keep up with all things Region Sports, be sure to check us out on our social media pages. We are always active on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, X, and at our website at regionsports.com. Celebrating over 25 years, we are proud to still be the only game in town. Bottom of the second inning, New Palestine leads 2-1 as Hugh Banks goes to the plate, sends one high and just over her catcher for ball one to Katie Poppy as she will look to try to reach base, get her team right back in this one. Trailing one run for Caden Poppy and company. There's still plenty of softball left to be played here with the 1-0 count. The next one is high for a ball. It's quickly 2-0. Poppy with 10 walks on the season, .333 on base percentage. But certainly the way Jillian DeYoung's been pitching, she was really attacking batters in the top half of this inning, and that was good to see with 4 strikeouts already as a strike falls into the plate. So Poppy has a 2-1 count, but for this Hanover team, you want to try to even things up here. The 2-1 pitch is just outside, makes it a 3-1 count. So 3 balls and a strike as Hugh Banks looks to avoid walking the leadoff batter. She will foul the 3-1 pitch towards the New Palestine dugout. So it's now a full count, 3-2. With the count full, we'll see what Poppy can do here as the home plate umpire. Hugh Banks requests a new softball, so they will make the switch as now she walks back to the circle and the umpire goes back to his spot. Everybody is ready to resume play now. Hugh Banks steps to the circle for the payoff pitch. Here it is. 3-2, skips foul to the Wildcats dugout and lands at the fence and then ricochets into the foul territory portion of the left field side. And makes it another lengthier at bat, 3-2. And a full house here at Bittinger Stadium. More fans continue to gather in that outfield area on the grassy hill. It seems like a good place to watch a ball game from, especially on a nice day like today. Here, the payoff pitch, part 2. Poppy finds a gap, rolls it into left field. She will reach to start the inning with a leadoff single. A lengthy battle between pitcher and batter is won by the hitter as she lined that one between third and short. It carried into left field, allowing her to reach. And now Kaylee Blocker will bat with a runner on and nobody out. Blocker bats .358 this season with 29 hits, 29 runs driven in. The first pitch is low for ball 1. Hanover and their head coach Sam Ankowitz emphasizing pregame as the 1-0 pitch is called strike 1 to be disciplined at the plate, to know our strike zone, but to also look to swing early in counts. If you have your pitch and you see it, try to go after it. The 1-1 is lifted foul for strike 2, makes it a 1-2 count. And the other point he emphasized on the offensive side is to take advantage of our speed. We saw that in the first inning with Ostman able to leg out a double and then DeYoung scoring her with a single. That allowed the first run to score. Now the 1-2 pitch is called strike 3 at the outer corner. Blocker heads back to the dugout. on a breaking ball that was curling away from the batter and just finds that corner.
Center fielder number 6.
So blocker caught looking. And now Adeline McMahon will bat here for the Wildcats with a runner on and one away. She drives one into center field, just landing out of reach of the second baseman. With that stepping swing, was just able to slap it towards center. McMahon singles, advancing Poppy to second. So there are runners on base, 2 runners on for the Wildcats, with Marissa Millsap batting, the 9th batter in the lineup. Millsap has 2 teammates on base and only 1 out. The left-handed batter waits for the first pitch from Eubanks. She will wind and fire. Just misses low and away for ball 1. Millsap with 10 RBIs this season, bats .378, has 29 hits. Poppy's at second, McMahon at first. The 0-1. She's able to get it off the end of the bat towards second base, where it will be scooped up by Fitzgerald, and as she was fielding it, just applies the tag on the runner, McMahon. A fielder's choice will allow the Wildcats to have runners on the corners. Poppy makes it to third base. Millsap is aboard at first. So a bit of a tricky play for Fitzgerald as she had to charge in, but then as she collected the ground ball, was in the perfect spot to tag McMahon there. The top of the order is back up. Sienna Stilley takes the first pitch for a strike. Stilley grounded out to the circle on a check swing in her first at-bat. We'll be looking for a different result here with runners at first and third and 2 away in the second inning. The 0-1 pitch is outside for a ball, evens the count at 1 apiece. A big spot here for the senior catcher. Stilley has 35 runs batted in this season, leads the way for the Wildcats with 13 home runs. And now time will be called. And a pair of seniors battling here. Eubanks, the senior pitcher, and Stilley, the senior catcher. 2 veteran players. The 1-1 offering is outside for a ball, makes it a 2-1 count. A good take, and certainly Stilley working as a catcher. You have a little bit of an extra insight into the mind of a pitcher and what you could maybe anticipate in these scenarios. She takes the 2-1 for a ride towards right center field. Angling over is Cromwell. It lands in front of her. Crossing the plate is Poppy. Tying the game up. Going for home is Millsap. She will score, and the Wildcats take the lead. A 2 RBI double from Stilley makes it a 3-2 game in favor of Hanover Central. Another 2-out rally for the Cats. They lead by 1. Still with a chance to add to it with Stilley at second and Dallas Bowen up to bat. So you cannot count the Wildcats out even with 2 down in an inning. Poppy scores from third, and then Millsap races to score from third. There will be a courtesy runner at second base. That will be Jessica Ferguson in place of the catcher, Stilley. For Stilley, those were RBIs number 36 and 37. A great spot for those to help her team take the lead in the state championship game. That was a high fly ball towards right center field. And the center fielder, Cromwell, was reaching towards her left to try to get the glove to it. It lands just in front of her and continued to roll away, taking a favorable bounce for the Wildcats. Both runners would score. Stilley would leg out the double. It's now a 3-2 game with 2 away. The 1-0 pitch to Bowen. A bouncer towards first base. It ricochets away from Steele. Bowen is safe, and the inning continues. That was a quick bouncing ground ball towards first base. Steele charged in from first base. It ramped up and then bounced off her shoulder towards the circle, and Bowen was flying down the first base line to reach. Stilley makes it to second, so there are 2 on, runners at first and third for Hanover Central with Brooklyn Ostman batting. Ostman was able to ignite that 2-out rally in the first inning. She would score the Wildcats' first run with her double. And we'll look to see what she could do here with a couple of friends on base. Two players in the Columbia blue jerseys are on base. Ostman cues it towards the circle. A glove stop is made by Eubanks. She loses it, recovers, throws to first. That will end the inning, but the Wildcats scored twice, take the lead. We're through 2 innings. Hanover Central leads 3-2 as you're listening to coverage of the 2026 Class 3A Softball State Championship presented by Enigenberg Exteriors on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
You ready? Let's go! Yeah. For those of you that want to know what we're all about, it's like this, yo. This is 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, and 100% reason to remember the name.
Your future starts
here.
With offices in Munster and Cedar Lake, Ethos Dental Group offers a full scope of general and cosmetic dentistry with expertise ranging from porcelain veneers to dental implants, crowns, and bridges. At Ethos Dental Group, you're assured that Dr. Mark Stojkovic and his associates, Dr. Emily Hansen and Dr. Brian Douts, utilize the latest in technology. Check out ethosdentalgroup.com or call 219-595-3432 to schedule an appointment. Ethos Dental Group, dental care you can believe in.
Welcome back as Enigenberg Exteriors presents coverage of the 2026 Class 3A Softball State Championship right here on the Region Sports Network. At the conclusion of tonight's game, we'll name the Crowell Companies Lantern Man Superhero of the Game. Crowell Companies proud to recognize the superheroes on the diamond. There have been plenty of heroics through the first 2 innings as we begin the top of the 3rd inning with Hanover Central now leading 3-2. It was a 2-run first inning for New Palestine. The Wildcats would respond with a narrow number in the bottom of that inning and then a crooked number scoring 2 in the 2nd inning to take the lead 3-2, but there is still plenty of softball to be played here as at the top of the order, back up for the Dragons. Callie Cromwell takes a first pitch strike from DeYoung, who sent a fastball to the lower corner. DeYoung with 4 strikeouts through the first 2 innings. Just 1 hit against, winds and fires her next delivery. This one is bouncing its way towards shortstop. Bowen vacuums it up and throws over in time to retire Cromwell. Starts the inning with a ground out. So some smooth defense there to start the inning on a ground ball that bounced its way over to short. And then the throw from Bowen beats her by a step. Peyton Dye bats now with 1 away and nobody on base. Dye reached on a fielder's choice in her first at-bat against DeYoung. It was a ground ball to second or to short where the Wildcats tried to turn 2, but then a unfortunate play with the exchange allowed everybody to be safe on the play. The 1-0 pitch is low for ball 2. Dye, a NC State recruit, so a Division I player next season, faces DeYoung, a sophomore pitcher. The 2-0 pitch, just low for ball 3. Dye has walked 21 times. That's something that you certainly, that good, disciplined eye at the plate, and that can translate to the next level. It helps to reach base because hitting it can be so difficult that when you can make sure you're not helping pitchers out by swinging at pitches outside the zone, it makes that much tougher of an out to get. And she's ahead in the count, 3-0. Shows bunt, pulls away. The pitch rises high for ball 4. A 4-pitch walk puts Dye on base with 1 out, and the next batter will be Sadie Miller.
Shortstop number 27.
Miller playing shortstop today. That's 3:55. She flew out to her counterpart Bowen earlier in the game in her first at-bat. That was a high fly ball to shallow center. And this one lined towards Bowen. She makes the catch for out number 2. One shortstop lines out to another, and just like that, there are 2 down in the inning.
Second baseman
bouncing right back after the walk. DeYoung needs just one pitch to erase Miller. Claire Fitzgerald will bat with 2 down and a runner at first base. The next pitch from DeYoung is low and away for ball 1. The 1-0 pitch from DeYoung. Fastball for a strike. Makes it a 1-1 count. Fitzgerald had a 2-home run game in the semi-state opener last week. She takes the next pitch at the corner for strike 2. So a lot of pop in that bat. She struck out in her first meeting with DeYoung and is down to her last strike in this at-bat. A ball and 2 strikes. As DeYoung goes to the plate, she finds the upper corner for strike 3. Fitzgerald is caught looking. That will end the inning. The Dragons get a runner on base on a walk, but she's left stranded. We will head to the bottom of the 3rd inning with the score Hanover Central 3, New Palestine 2. You're listening to coverage of the 2026 Class 3A Softball State Championship presented by Enigenberg Exteriors on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
With electrical services from Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, you can radiate the perfect amount of light and energy into your home. From rewiring and code upgrades to ceiling fans, lighting, security, and more, Economy Electric Heating and Cooling's trained electricians will make sure you can enjoy your home on full power all the time. For a free estimate on electrical work, call Economy Electric Heating and Cooling at 219-923-4441, and you can visit them on the web at 4ajobdoneright.com. That's the number 4ajobdoneright.com.
At Blyce, we're used to having the athlete shop at our store.
Down, sit, put.
But sometimes they get carried away. Blyce, this is where the athlete shops.
You're watching RSN Game Day coverage of the 2026 Class 3A Softball State Championship presented by Enigenberg Exteriors, a premier provider of roofing and siding services with over 40 years of experience. Check them out on the web at ebergexteriors.com. DeYoung, Edgerton, and Poppy lead off the inning for the Wildcats. They lead 3-2. DeYoung had an RBI single to help Hanover record their first run, and for the Wildcats starting pitcher, she's been doing a little bit of everything in this game with 5 strikeouts, an RBI. The first pitch is at the outer portion of the zone for a strike. She was the Northwest Crossroads Conference Pitcher of the Year in the regular season, but she's been swinging a good bat as well, batting .426. On base, batting .341, an on-base percentage of .426, as she sends this one high in the air to left field. Moore backtracks to the track, where she will eventually make the catch for out number 1. But a lengthy fly ball from DeYoung just doesn't carry far enough, where the catch will be made for out number 1. And now Nora Edgerton will bat. Edgerton, playing left field, grounded out to the circle in her first at-bat. That ended the first inning for Hanover Central. She bats now with the bases empty and nobody on. New Palestine brings the corner infielders in. Edgerton steps in and pokes it foul, opening the count 0-1. With that left-handed batter upstepping with that slap-hitting approach, they bring the infielders in, anticipating some ground ball contact or a potential bunt. New Palestine, state champs at the 4A level in 2024. The 0-1 pitch is high and away, while Hanover Central, state runners-up last season, looking for redemption this year. New Palestine, 6-time state champs, could tie East Noble for the most in IHSAA history with a win today, as the 1-1 pitch was knocked foul. It ran out of steam shortly on the third base line from Edgerton. She raced all the way to first on that foul ball and is behind in the count 1-2. as the Dragons head coach Ed Markham will talk things over with the home plate umpire. And now everybody goes back to their spots. With the count 1-2. The pitch from Eubanks. Lifted over third base into left field. Edgerton was able to loop that along the third base line, keeping it fair. She's aboard for a one-out single. With the third baseman Dye in, that went, if she was playing a little bit deeper, that could have been just an easy fly out, but Dye had to try to leap up. It was well over her head and landed at the grass just at the start of the outfield, rolling down the line. So right place at the right time is then the first pitch gets past the catcher, allowing Edgerton to scoot over to second base. Now, it was a foul ball. It was a foul ball. Hold the fort. She will have to go back to first base. It was a foul ball and a check swing from Poppy. But still now a runner at first base. That is Edgerton, and now Poppy, the batter for Hanover. But because of the infield deployment, that really resulted in the single for Edgerton, just able to send it over the third baseman Dye, who was playing in. And now she is aboard. The count is 1-1 to Poppy. The next pitch, she sends it high in the air, foul towards the top of the netting and rolling back down. Makes it a 1-2 count. Poppy singled and would score in the second inning. She led the inning off with a single. She's down to her last strike in this count with Edgerton at first base and one out in the inning. The pitch from Eubanks is high for a ball, evening things at 2-2. A light wind blowing out to center field on what is a sunny day. The lights starting to continue to take effect here at Bittinger Stadium. The 2-2 pitch, fouled backward to the backstop, and then it bounces right back to the pitcher, Eubanks. Eubanks looking to work out of some trouble here with a runner at first base. She was a second-team All-State selection. A couple of Wildcats were on those All-State teams. The 2-2 pitch is high for a ball. We go full at 3-2. Stilley was a first-team All-State selection, while DeYoung a second-team All-State honoree. So plenty of players with some accolades to their names facing off in this game. With the count full, Eubanks goes to the plate. The payoff pitch is low and away for ball 4. It's a walk, and now there are 2 on for the Wildcats. After Edgerton singled, Poppy walks, and now Blocker will bat with 2 on and only 1 away. Kaylee Blocker, who struck out looking in her first at-bat, will look to step up here and produce with a couple of friends on base. The first pitch, poked foul and backwards, makes it a 0-1 count. Owen won the count to Blocker. As Eubanks takes a long walk around the circle, looking to kind of get her rhythm back on track here. And now she's back. The 0-1 pitch is high and away, evening the count at 1-1. First of 2 state title games to be played today. The 4A state championship will be played a little bit later between Lake Central and Terre Haute North Vigo. The 1-1 pitch, check swing. She did not go far enough, though. It was high for a ball. The count 2-1. But what I always love about these double headers, especially in the playoffs, is seeing the teams playing in the next game, hanging out, watching this game. We see some of the Terre Haute North Patriot players along the third base line. The Lake Central players were hanging out earlier, but now we have a meeting at the circle with the count 2-1. The Dragons talking over what they want to do here and how to handle this spot, but that just adds to the atmosphere where you have players like Lake Central and Hanover Central that played in the regular season were opponents, but now both playing in their respective classes, state title games, and watching and cheering for each other. Part of that camaraderie and just atmosphere here at the last game of the season with a state title on the line. And it's just cool to see the mix of people from all over the state hanging out here and watching some high-level softball as everybody goes back to their spots. There are runners at first and second, one out in the inning. The pitcher is Eubanks, and the batter is Blocker. The count is 2-1. The next pitch, low for ball 3. 3-1 is the count. A walk to Blocker would load the bases. Eubanks looking to prevent that as she stares to her catcher, Gooden. The pitch is high for ball 4. It's a walk. Blocker is on base, and there is a player wearing a Columbia blue jersey at every base. Edgerton at third, Poppy at second, and Blocker at first. 2 walks and a single as Adeline McMahon will bat with the maximum on base and only 1 out. McMahon, the left-handed batter, singled in her first at-bat. Takes a first pitch strike from Eubanks. Sadie Eubanks will look to walk the tightrope here, needing to cook up 2 outs and trying to avoid letting the deficit grow here. Hanover Central leads 3-2. The 0-1 pitch is outside for a ball, evening the count at 1-1. But what a spot here for McMahon to try to add to her team's lead. The 1-1 pitch. She sends it foul and high into the netting. Falls behind in the count 1-2. A ball and 2 strikes after the foul ball from the left-handed batter McMahon. We'll see what she can do now. McMahon steps back into the batter's box. Eubanks winds and fires. The 1-2 pitch speeds to the upper corner, called strike 3. McMahon is caught looking, and now with the bases loaded, there are 2 outs. It's up to Marissa Millisap to reach on a fielder's choice in her first at-bat to try to keep the party going for the Wildcats with the bases loaded. They lead by a run. The first pitch is a check swing, and it goes foul for Millsap. But this is a spot here with the bases loaded. The momentum could swing to who either capitalizes on this spot. For the Wildcats, if you could get some of these runs in, that could really boost your team. For the Dragons, if you can escape this jam, that could energize them. A swinging strike from Millsap. She's behind in the count, 0-2. Down to her last strike. The top of the order is on deck. Millsap would like to bring them up. The 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Eubanks gets Millsap committed to the swing to end the inning. She heads back to the dugout, leaving the maximum on base. We are through 3 innings. Hanover Central leads 3-2 as you are listening to coverage of the 2026 Class 3A Softball State Championship presented by Enigenberg Exteriors on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Located in the heart of downtown Indianapolis, the newly renovated Hampton Inn is within walking distance to over 30 restaurants and attractions, including Lucas Oilfield and Gamebridge Fieldhouse. Hampton Inn has much to offer, including a hot breakfast, high-speed internet access in every room, as well as a fitness center. Why wait? Make your reservations today. Call 317-261-1200 or make them on the web at hamptonin3.hilton.com. Hampton Inn, Indianapolis, downtown.
Looking to score great deals on sports and fitness gear? Shop local at Play It Again Sports Maryville. We have new and quality used equipment for baseball, softball, golf, hockey, fitness, and more. Plus, turn your old gear into cash on the spot or create your own discount with store credit for even better deals. Whether you're training, competing, or just getting started, your locally owned Play It Again Sports keeps you in the game.
Welcome back to Enigenberg Exteriors as they present coverage of the 2026 Class 3A Softball State Championship right here on the Region Sports Network. At the conclusion of tonight's game, we'll name the Boilermakers Local 374 Blue Collar Player of the Game, brought to you by Boilermakers Local 374. Earn while you learn with Boilermakers Local 374. So Hanover Central looking to defend the field here after they left the maximum on base in their last at-bats. They lead 3-2 And Kara Steele leads off for New Palestine. New Palestine playing in their second state championship in the last 3 seasons, while the Wildcats in back-to-back state title games. They return 5 starters from last year's state runner-up team. And the first pitch from DeYoung to Steele is a ball, makes it a 1-0 count. Breaking ball just spins outside as it's now a 2-0 count. But the two teams ranked in the top 10 in the 3A coaches poll. New Palestine 7th in that poll and Hanover Central 10th. But you could throw those rankings out the window. All that matters is what happens today. This one off the end of the bat towards second base. Millsap scoops it up, throws over for out number 1. The ground out is the first out of the inning as Amber Hurt will bat here. Amber Hurt bats. She struck out in her first meeting with DeYoung. This one jammed towards right field. It will land in front of Bautman, and that is a single for Hurt. Hurt is aboard with a base hit with 1 away in the inning. She is on. That was a good one towards right field. Bowman had to play it on the hop. That was the first hit of the day for Hurt. Just the second official hit for New Palestine. They've had a couple base runners. Some runners have reached on walks, and 1 walk and a couple of errors. But that is the second hit of the day for the Dragon offense. And now I think we have a courtesy runner at first base. Looking to get a look at who that is, replacing Hurt.
For New Palestine, number 26, Ava LaPenta.
That will be Ava LaPenta. New Palestine coached by Ed Markham in his 23rd year with the program. He has been at the helm of the program for all 10 of their state title appearances. A fly ball towards left field. Edgerton ranges into foul territory, reaches the glove out, and it just lands beyond her in foul territory. That was a fast-traveling fly ball to left. Edgerton nearly had it playable, but it just eludes her, and it's just a long strike, making it an 0-1 count. Tessa Moore, the batter here for New Palestine. The 0-1 pitch drops into the zone, makes it an 0-2 count. DeYoung is ahead. Certainly DeYoung has just stayed ahead in all of these counts. Just the 1 walk in the day, but she has just been effective with her command and her approach, just going right at these hitters as the 0-2 pitch is lifted foul high and lands on top of us in the media level. Hear the loud thud above us on the metal ceiling, and it rolls backwards, probably towards the parking lots. The count remains 0-2. DeYoung looks to her catcher. Stilley begins her windup. The pitch is high for a ball. They throw it on to first base, but getting back in time is the runner LaPenta. So she runs in place of Hurt, who singled. DeYoung, with 5 strikeouts in the game, has just attacked these New Palestine batters. Her 1-2 delivery. She will make it 6 strikeouts, as not able to get to the rise ball is Moore. She goes down swinging for out number 2. And here is Lindsey Gooden. Gooden flew out to shortstop in her first at-bat. Talk about Ed Markham, longtime head coach of New Palestine. Sam Ankowitz coaching in his second state championship game after they fell short last year. The first pitch is a liner to third base, and a quick catch is made by Poppy for out number 3. It's a quick inning after the single. They will leave a runner on base. We are through 3.5. Hanover leads 3-2. As you are listening to coverage of the 2026 Class 3A Softball State Championship presented by Enigenberg Exteriors on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Calling all current and future homeowners in the Northwest Indiana area. Whether you're buying or selling, Brent Wright is here to make your real estate journey smooth and successful. With years of experience, personalized service, and a deep knowledge of the market, Brent will help you find the perfect place or get the best deal for your property. Call today at 219-406-7195 and take the first step towards your real estate goals. Contact Brent Wright, the right way to buy and sell real estate.
Some see a wrestling match. We see a 6-minute lesson in grit. Some see a coach sending a runner home. We see a mentor guiding a student athlete into the future. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
Welcome back as Enigenberg Exteriors presents coverage of the 2026 Class 3A Softball State Championship right here on the Region Sports Network. Bottom of the fourth inning, it'll be the top of the order up for Hanover Central as they lead 3-2, looking to add to that lead and make up for the last inning where they left 3 runners on base to end the inning. This is the top of the order. It's Stilley, Bowen, and Ostman looking to make an impact here in the state championship game. Eubanks stays in the circle. The first pitch to Stilley is lifted foul and backwards to the media level. So the count 0-1 to Stilley. Eubanks begins her delivery to the plate. Stilley stays away. It's outside for a ball, evening things at 1-1. Stilley 1 for 2 on the day. A ground out in the first inning and then a 2 RBI double in the second. Helped her team take the lead. Trying to start the inning on a high note for the Wildcats. The breakthrough pitch from Eubanks is upstairs for a ball. We go 2-1. But Stilley certainly one of these players that drives the offense for Hanover Central, but her role behind the plate working with the pitchers has been something her coaching staff has praised her for. The 2-1 pitch is outside for a ball, makes it a 3-1 count, but the catcher can be such an impact player at the high school level, having to not just handle the pitches behind the plate, but work with the pitchers too, manage the confidence and help out those starting pitchers. The 3-1 is outside. It's a walk to Stilley. She's on base for the second time today. She had a double and now a walk. That brings Dallas Bowen up to bat. Bowen reached on an error in the second inning, struck out in her first at-bat. There will be a courtesy runner at first base. Jessica Ferguson will run in place of the catcher Stilley. Bowen, the shortstop, up to bat here. She waits for the first pitch from Eubanks. Ferguson speeding towards second base. She will slide in safely. Swiping second as the pitch was a strike to Bowen. Bowen, certainly we've been familiar with her family in the region. Her older brother Drake was a multi-sport star at Andrean in baseball and football. He's now a starting linebacker at Notre Dame. And then her brother Dylan was a big-time shortstop for the Wildcat baseball team. She drops one into right field on the fly, as then the throw goes to the plate, preventing Ferguson from advancing. She makes it to third base, but will not score. Bowen delivers a single, keeping things rolling for the Wildcats, now with runners at first and third. Bowen's at first base, Ferguson at third, Brooklyn Ostman bats. There's nobody out in the inning. The third hitter in the lineup, Ostman, has been effective so far. She doubled and scored in her first at-bat. Bowen's racing for first base as the pitch is over the plate for a strike. There is no throw, especially with the runner at second base. The Dragons didn't want to risk anything there. So Bowen, with an uncontested stolen base, she moves to scoring position. The count is 0-1 to Ostman. The pitch from Eubanks. Swinging through it for strike 2. A good rise ball from Eubanks. Eubanks, a senior pitcher, committed to play at Marion University out of Indianapolis. has been in spots like this before. The 0-2 pitch. Ostman lifts it towards right field where Tweedy will back up and make the catch, but tagging and racing to the plate is Ferguson, and she will score. Ferguson adds to the lead. The Wildcats are ahead 4-2 on a sacrifice fly by Ostman. It brings in a run. Bowen goes from second to third. That's a big run to get for the Wildcats. It was deep to right field. Tweedy was able to make the catch, but the throw to the plate was not able to beat Ferguson, who slid in head first to cross. And I think we see an appeal to third base as the Dragons threw over, but the home plate umpire signals that she was safe. Also worth mentioning, the umpire crew today, Roger Griffith, Tom Mecklenburg, and Mike Alford, as the pitch from Eubanks. The first pitch from Eubanks to DeYoung is a ball. Starts the count 1-0. DeYoung 1 for 2 on the day with an RBI single in the first inning. She bats with Bowen at third base. The 1-0 pitch is just at the corner, called strike 1. Sam Antkowitz over at the third base coach's box has some words for DeYoung, words of encouragement for the sophomore batting right-handed. The 1-1 pitch. DeYoung lofts it high in the air in left field, and it will land. It will land between Miller and Moore. Bowen will score. That one just continued to carry further and further down the left field line, landing in no man's land, allowing the Wildcats to add one more run to the column. They're ahead 5-2. DeYoung sent that one sky high in the air, and it just continued to get pushed further and further. And we saw Miller ranging over from shortstop, Moore charging in from left field. It drops between them. Not exactly how you draw it up for DeYoung, but you'll take it. It's her second RBI single of the ballgame. A bunt is poked towards third base by Edgerton. Dye handles, throws over for out number 2. It advances DeYoung to second base. She's now in scoring position. And that will bring Katie Poppy up to bat. Poppy is 1 for 1 on the day with a single and a walk. She has scored a run. DeYoung moves over to second base. Actually, I believe that's a courtesy runner for the pitcher, DeYoung. But anyway, there's a runner at second base for the Wildcats. The first pitch to Poppy pops into the glove for a strike. But what an inning it's been for Hanover Central, being able to manufacture 2 runs on a sacrifice fly and then a RBI single. Poppy gets one off the end of the bat, fouls it on the first base line. She's behind 0-2 in the count. Hanover Central just past the midway point in this game, leading 5-2. But they know there's still plenty of softball left to be played here. You can't rest on this lead, looking to continue to add to it. The 0-2 pitch finds the zone for strike 3. Poppy will strike out looking to end the inning, but the Wildcats add 2. We are through 4 innings of play. Hanover Central leads 5-2 as you're listening to coverage of the 2026 Class 3A Softball State Championship, presented by Enigenberg Exteriors on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
With 40 years of experience serving Indiana, Illinois, and Tennessee, Enigenberg Exteriors has only had one goal in mind: to achieve excellent customer service. From commercial and residential roofing to siding, window, and door replacement, Enigenberg Exteriors delivers 110% customer satisfaction from the first hello to the final walkthrough. Visit Enigenberg.com for more information, or give them a call at 219-365-2837. Enigenberg Exteriors, restoring hope one project at a time.
Get Pulse Technology on your team. Hit a home run with our managed print and copier services, IT and technology solutions, office furniture and design services, office supplies, scoreboards, and AV solutions.
Welcome back as Enigenberg Exteriors presents coverage of the 2026 Class 3A Softball State Championship right here on the Region Sports Network. Stay with us after the game when we'll name the proud-to-be Union Play of the Game presented by Ironworkers Local 395. Ironworkers Local 395, go to ironworkers395.com to start your future as a Union Ironworker. It'll be Kenna Tweedy, and then the top of the order for New Palestine, Cromwell and Dye to follow her as she swings through the first pitch from DeYoung. And falls behind in the count 0-1. Tweedy struck out swinging in her first at-bat. One of 5 Dragon batters, or now 6 Dragon batters to strike out against DeYoung. The 0-1 pitch zooms into the upper corner for a strike, makes it an 0-2 count. A good life on that fastball from DeYoung, and she's been sharp with her command. Is ahead in this count 0-2. Was looking for a similar spot, but just misses. It's called a ball. It's now a 1-2 count to Tweedy. Tweedy batting here for the Dragons. 261 on the season was her average entering this game. The 1-2 pitch. She just plays it foul to the screen behind the catcher. So she keeps the at-bat going. The New Palestine dugout making some noise. Many of the players wearing different... there's the 1-2 pitch towards the plate. This one carries towards left field, but Bowen, the shortstop, shuffles backward to make the catch on a short fly ball for out number 1.
Center fielder number 10.
So that's the first out. Now the top of the order is back up, Callie Cromwell, but the New Palestine players wearing different... they're wearing visors, their uniforms, but then different wacky hats. There's an Indianapolis Colts football helmet. There's different emojis, some kind of fish down there. I don't know if they stopped at a costume store on the way, if this is a thing that's been going on all season, but I'm just noticing it. And there's a panda. Yeah, so all the different players, when their team is up to bat, they're wearing different decorative hats. The 1-0 pitch. Just high for a ball, makes it 2-0 to Cromwell. She's 1 for 2 on the outing. Actually, that's a ball. We go 2-0 in the count. So, 2-0 the count to Cromwell. She singled and scored in the first inning. New Palestine did, in fact, get the scoring started with 2 runs in the top half of the first inning as the 2-0 pitch is fouled backward. But then the Wildcats would counter with 1 in the first, 2 in the second, and then 2 more in the fourth. We're now in the top of the 5th inning. With the count 2-1 to Cromwell, the Dragon center fielder. DeYoung will wind, goes to the plate. A check swing. Did she go? The appeal to first base. Let's find out. She did. That's strike 2. The count is even at 2 apiece. Cromwell brought the bat forward, tried to hit the brakes, but the momentum brought her across the plane to make it a 2-2 count on a pitch that was low, but good movement from DeYoung fooled her. The breakthrough pitch. Another check swing. And it will be ruled strike 3 at the plate. And that is strikeout number 7 for Cromwell, for DeYoung against Cromwell. She went with the off-speed breaking ball. It was in the dirt. Stilley played it out of the dirt, threw over to first base as the appeal was ruled a strike anyway. So there are 2 down in the inning, and Peyton Dye bats here with nobody on base and 2 outs. The first pitch to Dye is called a strike. Dye has reached in her prior 2 at-bats on a fielder's choice and a walk. She has scored a run. She will try to spark a rally here with 2 away in the inning. The 0-1 pitch is upstairs for a ball, evening the count at 1-1. Dye, a Division I recruit for North Carolina State, really looking to make something happen here for her squad. Has the count with a ball and a strike here. Worked deep in the count to get a walk to DeYoung. That was the only walk of the game allowed by the Hanover Central pitcher. Now she finds the upper portion of the zone for strike 2. A ball and 2 strikes as DeYoung stares to Stilley. Her windup just misses the lower corner on a good fastball. but a good take from Dye. Evens things up. Twos are wild here in the top of the fifth inning. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. The pitch from DeYoung. Here it is. It's in there for strike 3. Her second strikeout of the inning and her 8th overall. Freezes the batter looking. We will head to the bottom of the 5th inning. Hanover Central leads 5-2 over New Palestine as you're listening to coverage of the 2026 Class 3A State Championship presented by Enigenberg Exteriors on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Strack & Van Til for the win with 4 ways to save. Catch price drops on over 15,000 items and check the weekly ad for can't miss deals. Stack on the rewards program for digital coupons, points toward discounts and free products, and power up with our own brands. Keep your budget in the safety zone. Get the same great taste as national labels at lower prices. If you can't taste the difference, why pay the difference? Score big value with 4 ways to save at Strack & Van Til.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
Welcome back as Enigenberg Exteriors presents coverage of the 2026 Class 3A Softball State Championship right here on the Region Sports Network. Leo Staudaher with you on the call, Zach Sinelli producing. Thank you to our management team at Region Sports for all of their work, led by executive producer Chris Ramirez, Rich Castillo, Zach Miller, and Mike DeLon, part of our team back at home and making things possible for a busy week here. We will have coverage of the 4A state title game coming up later this evening. We will have a busy day tomorrow with baseball semi-state championships as the first pitch is rolled down the third baseline, just foul by Blocker on a quick swing. A bouncer down the third baseline is foul, and that makes it an 0-1 count, but that was a close call on the third baseline. That would have been trouble if it was fair as it continued to speed down the line. At the count 0-1, Eubanks delivers towards the plate. This one is a little bit high, evens the count at 1-1, but this time of the year where we are fortunate to be so busy with teams making deep runs in softball and baseball, one of the best times of the year, state tournament time on the diamond. The 1-1 pitch is outside. We go 2-1. But it is always a treat to see the region so well represented. Once you get past semi-state and to state, and the Wildcats back in the state title game for the second consecutive year. The 2-1 pitch is upstairs for a ball. We go 3-1. They lost a heartbreaker to Cathedral last year and are looking for redemption, up 5-2 against New Palestine in the last of the 5th inning. Blocker is ahead in the count, 3-1. The pitch from Eubanks. She drives it towards right center field. Going back to the wall is Cromwell, and she'll make the catch at the track for out number 1. The center fielder had to cover a lot of distance, made a running catch on a deep fly ball. But a good play in center by Cromwell takes away extra bases from Blocker for out number 1. Here's Addie McMahon batting for Hanover Central. For Sam Atkowitz and his team back in the state title game with 5 returning starters from last year's group. It's a first pitch strike to Blocker. Atkowitz certainly knows what it takes to win a state championship as he won a state title on the baseball field with a Thornwood High School out of South Holland, Illinois. A swinging strike for strike 2 for McMahon. Atkowitz was part of the 1991 state title group for Thornwood as a player, now trying to win a state title as a coach with his team ahead in this game. The 0-2 pitch, she swings through it for strike 3. That's the second out of the inning. McMahon, a strikeout victim against Eubanks. Now with 2 down, Marissa Millsap will bat. Millsap bats with nobody on base and 2 away. The left-handed batter waits for the pitch from Eubanks. It just misses outside for a ball. But this Hanover group certainly trying to match what they did last year, and they've been really picking up where they left off. 10th in the 3A coaches poll. Millsap knocks it down to the dirt, and it's foul. Foul makes it a 0-2 count, but they've been dominant through the state tournament with just 5 runs allowed in total. A no-hitter thrown by DeYoung at semi-state, and they're ahead here in the 5th inning. The 1-1 pitch, cued towards shortstop. Miller picks it up, throws over to first, and beats her by a step. Millsap with good speed made it a close call, but she is just out at first base. That will end the 5th inning. Hanover Central is ahead 5-2 as you're listening to coverage of the 2026 Class 3A State Softball Championship game presented by Enigenberg Exteriors on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Four Seasons Mechanical proudly serves Northwest Indiana, providing quality, reasonably priced, reliable service. With a quality and comfort guarantee, the professionals at Four Seasons Mechanical offer a wide range of services in heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. Whether it's residential or commercial, Four Seasons Mechanical is there 24/7. To find out more, the website is fourseasonsmechanical.com or give them a call at 219-756-7020. Four Seasons Mechanical, your indoor air quality specialist.
Welcome back as Enigenberg Exteriors presents coverage of the 2026 Class 3A Softball State Championship right here on the Region Sports Network. Top 6 here at Bittinger Stadium as New Palestine will have Miller, Fitzgerald, and Steele batting. DeYoung will look to continue to try to keep these bats in check as she has thrown 5 innings so far, allowing 2 runs, counting up 8 strikeouts. The sophomore pitcher has been tremendous in the circle. Her first pitch to Miller spins in for a breaking ball for strike 1. Miller 0 for 2 today, a flyout and a lineout to shortstop. But Miller trying to break through here. She's a Lindenwood University recruit in the St. Louis area. The next pitch is a ball, evening the count at 1-1. DeYoung will go to the plate. The 1-1 pitch elevates high for a ball. We make it a 2-ball and a strike count. The leadoff batter, Miller. But DeYoung with over 250 strikeouts on the season has really been attacking batters. You don't often see her falling behind in counts as her fastball goes low to make it a 3-1 count. Just 1 walk on the day so far, but she's in danger of making it a second walk here with Miller ahead in the count. The next pitch is fouled to the screen on the first base side. So now we have a full count, 3 balls and 2 strikes. And the New Palestine dugout cheering on Miller here, going to help her reach base. They need base runners by whatever ways they can get them here, down to 6 outs remaining. The payoff pitch fouled to the on-deck circle on the third base side, so the at-bat continues. They have only 2 hits on the game. A couple of runners have reached on errors, and there's been 1 walk, but they have been scoreless since the first inning. And they need that to change here in the top of the 6th. The 3-2 pitch from DeYoung. Fouled high off the screen near the New Pal dugout. The at-bat continues, and what a veteran approach this has been from Miller here, wasting a couple pitches with the count full, forcing DeYoung to have to work her 3-2 offering. Another foul ball. A lengthy at-bat between DeYoung and Miller. Now going towards 9 pitches to start the inning. Miller in her third meeting in this game with DeYoung, trying to get a sense for her timing here. The next pitch. She swings over the off-speed pitch. It's in the dirt. Stille recovers and throws to first for another strikeout. That will open the inning. The 9th strikeout of the ball game for DeYoung. It's a big first out to get as Claire Fitzgerald will bat. Fitzgerald playing second base. She's 0 for 2 with a pair of punch-outs, one swinging, one looking. She'll look to get a different result here against DeYoung. A high fastball is just outside at the near the upper corner to open the count 1-0. And for DeYoung here, you've been in such a groove here with the outs remaining dwindling here. Just the emphasis on continuing to attack these batters. The 1-0 pitch looped opposite field. It will land fair in right field. Fitzgerald is aboard. A one-out single puts her on base. The third hit of the game for the Dragons. So you can't count them out yet as Fitzgerald reaches base for the first time. And here's Kara Steele. She drove in 2 runs on a play that was ruled an error in center field on a fly ball that went all the way towards the warning track that was nearly caught by McMahon. It chased in 2 runs. It looks like we will have a pinch runner at first base. The lineup cards are out, so we'll see who will be taking Fitzgerald's place over at first. A new runner aboard at first base. That appears to be Addie Maddox aboard at first base, running in place of Fitzgerald. At this point in the game, you need whatever advantage you can get. If there's a player that you think is a little bit speedier, that could take a base, that could turn, maybe score from first, you have to take that chance. Now with Maddox at first base. Fitzgerald did her job, singled an opposite field base hit. The right-handed batter sent one to right field. And here's Kara Steele. Steele takes a first pitch strike from DeYoung. Steele has 38 RBIs on the season. That's now with a friend in a red jersey at first base. The count 0-1 from DeYoung to Steele. Her windup and the pitch is high for a ball. Stille with a pump fake looks the runner back to first base. The count even at a ball and a strike. I don't see an empty seat in the house. Plenty of fans on both sides as the 1-1 pitch is grounded through the middle of the infield. It will roll to center. Back-to-back singles for the Dragons. They have 2 aboard with 1 out in the inning. A soft ground ball from Steele was hit towards the right spot. Both middle infielders had to angle to try to get there, but it was out of reach of both of them. Just through the middle of the infield on a soft ground ball allows the Dragons to build a rally with Maddox at second base and Steele at first. The batter now is Amber Hurt. Hurt bats with 2 on, 1 out. She represents the tying run here. The pitch from DeYoung is high for a ball. Makes it a 1-0 count. Hurt, the junior, is the DP this evening. It's ahead in the count, 1-0. DeYoung goes to the plate. Hurt slices it foul towards her team's dugout. Got it just above the hands. Now has the count even at 1-1. Hurt with 21 RBIs on the season. She had a single in the 4th inning. Works with 2 on and 1 down. With her team chasing 3. The 1-1 pitch. Foul ball to the screen. Another one that just is above the fists, and Hurt can't put it in play. It goes backwards, and probably with where she got that, it's probably a good thing it went foul, as that would have been one that probably wouldn't have left the infield. So she's down in the count, 1-2. 1-2 with 2 on. The next pitch from DeYoung. Off the end of the bat into the New Palestine dugout. Foul ball. But Hurt stays alive. Seen a couple deep at-bats in this first inning. One resulted in a strikeout to Miller, but then Fitzgerald and Steele both singled, and now Hurt working here against DeYoung. The 1-2 pitch, another foul ball, a little bit behind on that swing to the first base side. So a 6-pitch at-bat from DeYoung to Hurt, with the count only reading 1-2, but there have been handful of foul balls here. The pitch towards the plate. Hurt with another foul ball above the fists. This one runs out of steam on the first baseline and then spins towards the New Palestine dugout. So the battle continues. DeYoung against Hurt, a sophomore pitcher against a junior batter. DeYoung takes a bit of a step back from the rubber, now goes to get the sign from Stilley. Leans forward, her windup. This one jammed towards right center field. Bowman has a beat on it and will make the catch. Tagging and going to third base is Maddox. She will advance. It's a out, the second out of the inning, but it advances a base runner. So the drama continues. Runners at first and third, 2 away, and the batter now Tessa Moore. Or will it be? I think we have a pinch batter here. It appears this will be Morgan Hutchinson. Morgan Hutchinson will bat in place of Moore. So again, the lineup cards out here. Hutchinson bats in the top of the 6th inning. And what a spot it is for Hutchinson, the senior outfielder, getting to bat with 2 on in a pinch hit role in a state championship game. Hutchinson bats .307 this season, has 6 RBIs with 23 hits. The first pitch from DeYoung speeds in for a strike. Opens the count 0-1, so she's been able to watch DeYoung from the dugout, but now seeing her in action for the first time from the batter's box. Trying to see if she can deliver here with runners at first and third. The 0-1 is high for a ball, makes it a 1-1 count. A ball and a strike to Hutchinson. DeYoung begins her windup, her pitch, fouled by the left-handed batter towards the third base side. She's behind 1-2 in the count, just a little bit behind on that swing. 1-2 is the count from DeYoung to Hutchinson. Maddox, the runner at third base. Steele is at first. Wildcat fans making noise as the 1-2 pitch from DeYoung. Another slapper foul keeps the at-bat going. A half swing from Hutchinson just golfs it foul towards the third base side. Wildcat fans were making noise, as well as now some Lake Central fans filing in. The royal blue of LC contrasting with the Columbia blue of Hanover Central. On the 1-2 pitch, a foul ball into the crowd keeps the at-bat going. And a Lake Central fan tried to make the catch there, but couldn't quite hang on. He dropped it. It rolls down the stairs on the concourse. And just unable to make that play on the concourse. Here's the 1-2 pitch from DeYoung. Check swing, it skips past. No, it's a foul ball. A foul tip that skipped past the catcher Stilley. And so the home plate umpire quickly alerted everyone what had happened there, as that could have scored the runner from third base on what could have been a drop third strike, but it was a foul tip. The count remains 1-2. The next pitch from DeYoung. A foul ball into the Lake Central dugout, or into the Hanover Central dugout, pardon me, the Wildcats dugout. The count reads 1-2 on the scoreboard, but this is another one of those at-bats that has been much longer than that. Past the handful, you'd have to go to your second hand. I think we're at 7 pitches here. The next 1-2 pitch, poked foul on the third base line. So I have lost track, admittedly. I think we're at 8, maybe 9 pitches in this at-bat. With a ball and 2 strikes. So still DeYoung, a pitch to waste maybe if you want to send one outside the zone, see if you could get her to chase. With 2 outs in the inning, 2 runners on. We are in the top of the 6th inning. Hanover Central leads 5-2. She swings over a pitch in the dirt. Stilley scoops it up and throws to first. That will end the inning. DeYoung escapes the jam, leaves 2 stranded on, as we will head to the last of the 6th inning with the Wildcats leading 5-2. You're listening to coverage of the Class 3A Softball State Championship game presented by Enigenberg Exteriors on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Earn while you learn from the best hands in the business. The Bricklayers Allied Craft Workers for Indiana Kentucky Apprenticeship. That's right, this is a paid apprenticeship.
I'm getting an education while learning a trade and getting paid for it.
The thing that surprised me the most about this apprenticeship program is the respect I have received after the proper time and training.
Classes start soon, so apply now. There are training centers throughout Indiana and Kentucky. We are the Bricklayers and Allied Craft Workers for Indiana Kentucky Apprenticeship, the best hands in the business.
At American Testing Services, based in Hobart, Indiana, we specialize in NDT drone inspections and heat treatment services for local mills, fab shops, and facilities across the country. From Northwest Indiana to nationwide, we deliver precision, safety, and reliability. American Testing Services, America's trusted name in NDT.
You're watching RSN Game Day coverage of the 2026 Class 3A Softball State Championship presented by Enigenberg Exteriors. Enigenberg Exteriors, experienced roofing and siding contractors serving Indiana, Illinois, and Tennessee. Visit them on the web at ebergexteriors.com. Bottom of the sixth inning, Hanover Central leads 5-2, and they were able to work their way out of what could have been a bumpy inning with runners at the corners, but Sienna Stilley was able to cook up her 10th strikeout of the game to escape, and now the Wildcats have the top of the order up. Stilley, Bowen, and Ostman. Stilley had the 2 RBI double that gave the Cats the lead in the second inning. She scored a run in the fourth. She takes the first pitch for a ride towards left field. It will bounce its way towards the left fielder Moore. Stilley is on base for the third time this game with a leadoff single in the sixth inning. One pitch was all she needed to drive it to left field. She will be replaced by a courtesy runner, Jessica Ferguson. But the Jacksonville State recruit has been the leader of the Wildcat team. Works her way on base for the third time in this outing. And now Dallas Bowen will bat here. Bowen singled and scored in the fourth inning, reached on an error in the second. She waits for the first pitch from Eubanks. Racing to second base is Ferguson. The throw, she will slide in. Safe at second is Ferguson with her second steal of the outing. So Bowen batting left-handed will look to try to drive something in here. The freshman playing in a state championship game, a starter all season for Hanover Central. Looking to help her team capture their first championship since 2004. The 0-1 was just high. She started to bring the bat forward, but didn't fully commit to the swing, so it's a ball, evening things at 1-1. Eubanks begins her windup, and her next pitch is high and away. We go to 2 balls and a strike in the count. There are no outs in the inning. Stilley doubled and then was replaced by singled and then was replaced by Ferguson, who would then steal second. Now the 2-1 pitch to Bowen. She lofts it to second base, where the catch will be made by Fitzgerald. She had to reach over and made it about belt high was her glove for the first out in the inning. That's a good out to get a shallow fly ball in the infield. Is out number 1. Brooklyn Ostman will bat. Ostman doubled and scored in the first inning, and then had a sacrifice fly to bring in a run in the fourth. We'll see what she can do here with a friend at second base and 1 out in the inning. The pitch from Eubanks. A breaking ball that corkscrews into the dirt, and she waves over it for strike 1. Good movement on that breaking pitch by Eubanks, who has really battled in this game. Despite her team being down, she's kept them close. Was able to get out of a jam with the bases loaded a couple innings ago. Ostman ropes this one through the middle of the infield into center field. Ferguson gets the windmill at third base. She crosses, and it's another run for the Wildcats. They lead 6-2. Ostman doubles to bring Ferguson home to make it a 4-run lead. Second double of the game for Ostman, her second RBI. And now Jillian DeYoung will bat. The pitcher for the Wildcats has a chance to try to add to this lead. DeYoung has 2 ribbies in the game, 2 singles. The first pitch is at the corner for a strike. But DeYoung, the sophomore, has been tremendous both pitching and batting in this game. Trying to see if she can make it just a little bit larger of a hill for the Dragons to climb up. She swings through the next pitch, a off-speed pitch just outside. She's behind 0-2. DeYoung with RBI singles in the first and the fourth, works with Ostman aboard at second base. The 0-2 pitch. Cues it to shortstop. Coming up with it is Miller. She will throw to third base where they will retire Ostman, but DeYoung reaches. A heads-up play by Miller at short to throw over to Dye at third to erase Ostman, get the lead runner. Even in a big spot like this, she handled that with some confidence and with a clean throw. So a courtesy runner will be at first base. That will be Jordan Varble in place of the pitcher DeYoung. And Nora Edgerton, the Wildcats left fielder, will bat here with 2 outs and a runner at first base. The pitch, she swings through it for strike one. A pitch that was tailing away from the left-handed batter. She had committed to the swing, tried to reach over to get to it, couldn't quite. So she's behind 0-1 in the count. Varble, the runner at first base. Hugh brings the fastball that is over the plate for strike two. No swing from Edgerton there. But the Wildcats leading 6-2 here in the bottom of the sixth inning. The 0-2 pitch is high and away. Varble goes to second base. She steals. There was no throw. It's a 1-2 count with 2 away, but the Wildcats, 3 outs separate themselves from a state championship. But first, they want to see if they could add another insurance run here to help out their pitcher, Jillian DeYoung. The 1-2 pitch is in the zone for strike 3. That will catch Edgerton looking to end the inning. With 6 innings in the books, Hanover Central leads 6-2. They need 3 outs to add a state championship to their trophy case. So stick around to see if they can do it. You're listening to coverage of the 2026 Class 3A softball state championship game presented by Enigenberg Exteriors on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
IBEW Local 697 isn't just wiring buildings. We're woven into the very fabric of Northwest Indiana. We're your neighbors. Our kids go to school with yours. We stand in the same bleachers cheering for the same high school teams. When you hire a union electrician, you're not just getting the highest quality work. You're supporting our community. IBEW Local 697, proudly powering our own.
Sometimes the hardest part of improving your business isn't coming up with a great idea. It's knowing what to do with it. Chester Inc. Architectural and Construction Services is ready to meet all your industrial and commercial construction needs. Whether it's a small build-out or a complete construction project, Chester will design, build, and finance. Our team eliminates multiple contractors, providing you a single point of contact while staying within your budget. Chester Inc. Architectural and Construction Services, turning your ideas into realities.
Welcome back as Enigenberg Exteriors presents coverage of the 2026 Class 3A Softball State Championship right here on the Region Sports Network. Top of the 7th inning, Hanover Central leads over New Palestine 6-2. Jillian DeYoung remains in the circle. She will be opposing Gooden, Tweedy, and the top of the order in Cromwell, needing 3 outs to help her team capture a state crown after falling by 1 run last year, a 5-4 loss to Cathedral. They are looking for redemption this year, playing in West Lafayette here at Bittinger Stadium, home of the Purdue Boilermakers. DeYoung winds and fires the first pitch. It's high for a ball to Gooden, who is 0 for 2 with a couple of lineouts to the left side infielders, 1 to short, 1 to third. She's looking to break through here in her third meeting with DeYoung. She's ahead in the count, 1-0. The pitch. Fastball is low and in. Makes it a 2-0 count. There's no activity in the Wildcat bullpen. This is DeYoung's game. She has been outstanding so far. 4 hits against, 10 strikeouts. She has allowed 2 runs and has walked just 1 batter. And now Stilley and company doing some maintenance to the circle near the pitcher's mound area. And trying to get that things taken care of, make it the way DeYoung wants it. So everybody goes back to their spots. DeYoung looks to her catcher, Stille, with the count 2-0, her windup and the pitch. Foul tip to the glove of Stille for strike one. High heat from the pitcher, and trying to climb the ladder with it was Gooden. She made a little contact, but grazed it foul. Fell right to the catcher, Stille. So 2-1 the count. The 2-1 pitch is poked foul to third base. It broke along the third base line and out of play, so that will even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Gooden looking to lock in here, trying to reach base and help start a rally. The 2-2 pitch is high for a ball, will go full at 3-2. The count is full, and then DeYoung requests time as she's still working on that pitcher's mound, trying to kick some dirt and work on things, as it's certainly a little torn up here now with the deep into the 7th inning. The windup and her next pitch. Foul ball goes backward, and the count remains 3-2, but this battle just continues to work deeper and deeper. Top half of the 7th inning. It was the Dragons who scored first with 2 runs in the first inning, but then the Wildcats countered. 1 in the first, 2 in the second, 2 in the fourth, and 1 in the 6th. The 3-2 pitch jammed high in the air to shallow left field. The shortstop Bowen will camp out under it and makes the catch for the first out. 1 down, 2 to go. A fly out to left field where Bowen makes the catch, and now Kenna Tweedy will bat. She's the 9th batter in the Dragons lineup, looking to get the top of the order up with a runner on base. The bases are empty right now with 1 away. The first pitch to Tweedy, speeds high for ball 1. That pitch is high, so the count 1-0. The next pitch from DeYoung. Foul ball behind on the swing was Tweedy. She lifts it into her team's dugout, evening the count at a ball and a strike. 1-1 the count. DeYoung working at the circle, takes a bit of a pause, and now is ready to resume. Her breakthrough pitch is a speed ball for strike 2. She's ahead, 1-2 in the count. Tweedy is 0 for 2 on the outing with a strikeout and a flyout. The top of the order and Callie Cromwell are on deck. The 1-2 pitch is high, evening things at 2 apiece. DeYoung back to her spot, stares to her catcher Stille for the sign. Here it is. Ground ball playable at first base. Oostman vacuums it up and steps on first. 2 down, 1 to go. It's a ground out to first. There was a fly out to short and a ground out to first. Now there are 2 outs for Callie Cromwell batting. Jillian DeYoung looking to close things out with the Hanover Central fans on their feet. And now there will be a meeting at the circle. Everybody's going to meet up here to talk to DeYoung, but the Wildcats certainly aware of the moment here with 2 outs in the 7th inning. What a moment here at Bittinger Stadium for this Hanover Central group after they fell just short a year ago. They are in a much different spot now in 2026. The fans in blue and cardinal making some noise here. Waving towels in the air and trying to cheer DeYoung and her friends to 1 more out. The first pitch to Cromwell. Ground ball to shortstop. Bowen has it. The throw to first is not in time. Cromwell beats it for an infield single. The first base umpire was authoritative with his signal. Safe was the call. Cromwell keeps the game going with some hustle, not giving up with 2 outs in the 7th inning. Now it's up to Peyton Dye, batting with 2 away and a runner on base. Dye scored in the first inning. The pitch from DeYoung is high for a ball. So DeYoung and the Wildcats need to still cook up one more out with a runner at first base. The windup and the pitch. Spins into the corner for a strike, evening things at 1-1. Cromwell struck out looking in her last at-bat, one of 10 Dragons to strike out against DeYoung. The breakthrough pitch is high and away. We go 2-1. But the Wildcat fans on their feet as they have been for most of this inning, trying to cheer their team on, needing one more out. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Fly ball towards left field. This one's going to land in the gap. It bounces to the wall. Racing for the third base is Cromwell. She turns the corner, goes to the plate. She will score. It's an RBI double for Dye, and the Dragons aren't done yet, making it a 6-3 game with 2 outs here in the 7th inning. An RBI double for Peyton Dye. That was crushed into the gap and traveled there in a hurry. McMahon, the center fielder, eventually retrieved it, playing it off the wall. Cromwell had a good beat, was racing from first to third, scoring on the play. For Dye, it's her 3rd trip on base, and now the batter will be Sadie Miller. Miller is 0 for 3 tonight, but that doesn't matter, as all that counts is what she does with this at-bat with a teammate at second base. 2 outs in the top of the 7th inning here. Miller, a fly out to shortstop, a line out to shortstop, and then a strikeout in the 6th inning. That was the 6th hit of the day for the Dragons, and it came at a spot with their season on the line for the NC State recruit Peyton Dye, being able to bring in a run. That was her 21st RBI of the season. The right-handed batter Miller steps into the box. Dye prepared to race at second base on anything put in play. DeYoung stands tall at the circle, now steps to the rubber, leans forward for the sign from Stilley. Her windup and the pitch is high for a ball, opens the count 1-0. But Jillian DeYoung looking to generate one more out for the Wildcats. The 1-0 pitch. Golf towards third base, and it's foul. It's foul. It goes past Poppy into left field, evening the count at 1-1. It was a bouncer to third. It was under the glove of Poppy, but it sliced foul before making its way to the third base cushion. With the count even at 1-1, Miller steps back into the box. The windup from DeYoung. Here's the pitch. Foul ball off the catcher. That catches Stilley at the mask, and she will be in some discomfort behind the plate. That was a quick foul tip right to the catcher, and certainly a scary sight for Wildcat fans as their backstop, Sienna Stilley, is down behind the plate. Head coach Sam Antkowitz talking things over with his veteran catcher, aware of the moment here with the count 1-2 with 2 away. But obviously what matters here is the health of Stilley here. If now another coach out of the dugout, a trainer, I believe, to chat with Stilley. And we'll see if there's a reserve catcher ready or if Stilley will remain in the game. She will. She puts the mask, is getting ready to put the mask back on. She is staying in the game with the count 1-2. Stilley back to her spot. Miller is batting. A fist bump from Stilley and Miller, the batter and the catcher. Good sportsmanship there, as now Stilley talks to DeYoung, the pitcher. They go back to their spots, needing one more strike to capture a state championship. Can they do it here? There's a runner at second base. The Wildcats lead 6-3. What a moment here at Bittinger Stadium. The windup from DeYoung. Here's the pitch. Fly ball towards center field. McMahon, it lands in front of her. Dye rounds third and crosses the plate. She scores, and it's a 2-run game, 6-4. The Dragons making things happen with 2 outs in the inning. An RBI double from Dye and then an RBI single from Miller. They've brought this game within an arm's length, trailing 6-4. Miller breaks through. She was 0 for 3 in the game. Now she's 1 for 4 with an RBI single. And now Claire Fitzgerald will bat with a runner on and 2 away. Fitzgerald represents the tying run. She sends one high in the air, slicing foul into the left field bullpen. That was crushed off the bat by Fitzgerald, but fortunately for the Wildcats, it broke foul, and it broke foul early. And boy, now to those runs, that run they added in the 6th inning, does that seem even more important for Hanover, leading 6-4. The 0-1 pitch from Miller is in for a strike from DeYoung, is in for a strike. She's ahead in the count, 0-2. Fitzgerald, the batter, down to her last strike. DeYoung winds and fires. She swings through it for strike 3, and the Wildcats have done it. They are state champs. They complete the redemption arc after falling just short a year ago. They are back and back with a vengeance as they defeat New Palestine 6-4 to win their 2nd state title in program history here in West Lafayette. And how fitting it ends with a strikeout. Jillian DeYoung with 11 punch-outs in the game, going the distance to lock down the win. What a game for the Wildcats. What a pitching performance, and what a gritty effort for this Hanover Central team after falling behind in the 1st inning. They didn't really bat an eye, just rallying and scoring 6 unanswered to take a 6-2 lead. A comeback effort from New Palestine fell short. They generated 2 runs in the 7th inning, but were unable to gather any more, falling just short, falling 6-4 as Hanover Central wins their 1st state championship since 2004. They earned it here after being state runners-up last year. They were able to take that experience and turn it into a state championship this year, as the players just mobbing each other, waiting for the presentation of the state trophy. There are gloves and pieces of equipment all over the infield. There was a big celebration near home plate where Sienna Stilley caught the last out on the strikeout from DeYoung, as we will see the presentation of the state championship trophy in just a little bit. We'll have some hardware of our own to hand out as we're just wrapping things up here. Also worth mentioning, we will be back in a little bit at the end of this broadcast for Lake Central against Terre Haute North in the 4A state title game, as the Wildcats and Dragons will be recognized here post-game, with first, I believe, the Dragons will be acknowledged on the field. For New Palestine, they end their season 24-8. Hanover Central 26-6 will be their final record. And even for Hanover, you look at some of their losses on the season, they fell to 3 teams ranked in the top 15 in 4A, to Munster, Lake Central, and Crown Point. That had to have made them tougher as the season went on. They beat a powerhouse from Illinois in Marist, and now they conclude their season with a win at Bittinger Stadium over New Palestine, wrapping up their year as the 3A state championships. What a year it has been for Sam Mankiewicz and his group from Hanover Central.
Selected by the IHSAA Executive Committee.
As
the student was nominated by her principal.
A award will be handed out to someone on the field, but the Lake Central and Terre Haute North players starting to final in. We don't know the exact start time for that one. It'll be coming up soon.
Sadie Miller
from New Palestine awarded the post-game award, the mental attitude winner for New Palestine, nominated by her principal and our coaches. So a good accolade for Miller, who had that RBI single in the 7th inning. As now the Dragons, looks like they will be handed out their medals and trophy on the first base line Just a great game with New Palestine scoring twice in the first inning on an error in center field. They were able to get two across the plate. Hanover Central wasted no time responding with an RBI single in the first inning from Jillian DeYoung. And then a 2 RBI double by Sienna Stilley in the second inning helped them build their lead. A sacrifice fly by Brooklyn Oostman made them a little bit further ahead. Then DeYoung picked up her second RBI of the game right after that. And then in the sixth inning, it would be an RBI double from Oostman to make it a 6-2 lead. New Palestine knitted it a little close in the seventh inning with a RBI double from Peyton Dye and an RBI single from Sadie Miller. But then DeYoung would close it out with a strikeout to conclude the game. A huge win for the Hanover Central Wildcats as they pick up the 6-4 victory, out-hitting the Dragons 10-7. 2 errors were committed by Hanover and 1 for New Pal. It was a hard-fought win for Hanover Central, as we'll start to name some of our post-game award winners while the trophy ceremony goes on. It's time to name the Crowell Companies Lantern Man Superhero of the Game. Crowell Companies have offices open from 9 o'clock to 7 o'clock Monday through Friday, and Saturdays until 2 o'clock in Highland, Merrillville, and Michigan City. The Crowell Companies Lantern Man Superhero of the Game, I don't think there's any debate over this one. It has to be Jillian DeYoung, the starting pitcher from Hanover Central. She went the distance, was the pitcher of record. Her 21st win of the season. She struck out 11 batters, including the final out, walking just one batter. And at the plate, she had 2 singles, reached on a fielder's choice, and 2 RBIs. So you think about that, 2 RBIs. That's the difference in the ball game as well. So DeYoung getting it done at the circle and at the plate to pick up the win for the Wildcats. And moving things along, it's time to name the blue-collar player of the game, brought to you by Boilermakers Local 374. Boilermakers Local 374, earn while you learn with Boilermakers Local 374. The blue-collar player of the game tonight was, I have to recognize, I think it would be Sienna Stilley, the catcher from Hanover Central, with a gritty effort behind the plate, the catcher for the gem from DeYoung, and then staying in the game after taking that foul ball off the mask at the end as well, and then her effort at the plate, a 2 RBI double in the second inning, a walk in the fourth, and a single in the sixth inning, reaching base 3 times to help the Wildcats get the win, as we will now see the first the runners-up trophy being handed out to New Palestine. They will be given that trophy. This is one that it certainly stings in the moment, but as the years go by, you can be proud of making a run to a state championship, even if you fell in the title game. This is only so few high school athletes across the country can say they play in a state title game, and these players from New Palestine can certainly comment on that, as now the medals being handed out to the Hanover Central players and the jubilation of their crowd along the third base line, cheering them on, and you see the excitement from these Wildcat players, many of whom were part of last year's group. 5 starters returned from the team that was in New Palestine's spot last year, the state runners-up. But now it's a completely different feeling, being recognized as state champs, and that is certainly something, a moment they will never forget. A state championship win over New Palestine. It's cool to see the Lake Central players, a team that they saw earlier in the regular season. Hanover Central fell to Lake Central 7-3, but both teams representing the region so well, cheering each other on as they are both playing on the last game of the regular season in the state championships in Class 3A and 4A. As the medals continue to be handed out. So we'll get to the last of our awards, but first want to capture the state championship presentation on the third base side. But what a year it was for Hanover Central.
Assistant coach Alyssa Albrecht.
As the coaches now being recognized. First state championship for Hanover Central since 2004. First for Sam Ankowitz in his 7th year with the program. As we get a look at some of the final stats as well. Jillian DeYoung, 7 innings pitched, 7 hits, 4 runs, 2 of which were earned, 1 walk, and 11 strikeouts in 31 batters faced. An hour 53 game time. What a win for the Wildcats here at Biggerton Stadium, or Bittinger Stadium at the campus of Purdue University, as the final members of the athletic department are handed their medals. And now it's time for the moment the Wildcats have been waiting for, as a representative from the IHSAA department has what they've been waiting for. It is the state championship trophy. It's an old region friend. It's Stacy Adams from Valparaiso, the athletic director from Valpo. He hands the Wildcats their state trophy, and they swarm around the third base line, hoisting it in the air. They are state champs. A huge moment for their program. But a great win for Hanover Central. Now it's time to name the Proud to Be Union Play of the Game, presented by Ironworkers Local 395. Ironworkers Local 395. Go to ironworkers395.com to start your future as a union ironworker. Tonight's Ironworkers 395 Play of the Game was, I'm calling an audible here, as I was originally going to go with, as Jillian DeYoung named the player of the game as well, down there on the field by the IHSAA. But the play of the game, I was thinking to do one of those 2 RBI doubles, maybe one that gave them the lead, but I think it has to be the final out, just because of the magnitude of the moment. The tying run was on base, and DeYoung gets the batter Fitzgerald to strike out to end the game, with 2 runners on base and the Dragons rallying in the 7th inning. That was tonight's Ironworkers 395 Play of the Game, presented by Ironworkers Local 395, Union Strong. And as the Wildcats continue to celebrate, running around the infield with a state championship trophy, it's time to start thanking everybody involved with tonight's broadcast. And a reminder, we'll be back in a little bit with Lake Central versus Terre Haute North in the 4A state title game. Not entirely sure when that one will start, but you can find that broadcast at all the same places you found this one. But thank you to our management team at Region Sports Network, executive producer Chris Ramirez, to Rich Castillo, Zach Miller, and our sports director Mike Dewan, to my producer Zach Sinelli, doing a great job keeping everything on the up and up tonight, to the coaches Ed Markham of New Palestine and Sam Ankowitz of Hanover Central, the athletic directors Brian Murphy from New Palestine and Ryan Bridges from Hanover Central, to Jason Willie at our from the IHSAA, and to the viewers at all of our platforms, regionsports.com, YouTube/Region Sports, and Facebook/Region Sports Nation. This is Leo Staudaher thanking you for watching coverage of the 2026 Class 3A Softball State Championship game, presented by Enigenberg Exteriors on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.